Bear Grylls. Chapter 4. My favourite times from that era were Tuesdays after school, when I would go to my Granny Patsy's flat for tea and to spend the night. I loved it there. It was the only place away from home that I wasn't ever homesick. Through all these times, Lara, my older sister, was a rock to me, whilst Mum was a busy working mother helping my father in his duties. Lara, 8 years older than me, became my secondary mother. She fed me almost every supper I ate from when I was a baby up to about 5 years old. She changed my nappies, she taught me to speak and to walk, which with so much attention from her and course happened ridiculously early. She taught me how to get dressed and how to brush my teeth. In essence, she got me to do all these things that either she had been too scared to do herself or that just simply intrigued her, such as eating raw bacon or riding a tricycle down a steep hill with no brakes. It is why you have always been so close. It is why we have always been so close. To her, I am still her little baby brother, and I love her for that. But all this is the big but. Growing up with Lara, there were never a moment's peace, even from day one as a newborn baby in the hospital's maternity ward. I was paraded around, shown off to anyone and everyone. I was my sister's new toy, and it never stopped. I am sure that it is why in later life I craved the peace of solitude that mountains and the sea bring. I didn't want to perform for anyone, I just wanted space to grow and find myself amongst all the madness. Lara sums up this time well, I think. Until Bear was born, I hated being the only child. I complained to Mum and Dad that I was lonely. It felt weird not having a brother or sister when all my friends had them. Bear's arrival was so exciting once I got over the disappointment of him being a boy, because I'd always wanted a sister. But the moment I set eyes on him, crying his eyes out in his crib, I thought, that's my baby. I'm going to look after him. I picked him up, he stopped crying, and from then until he got too big, I dragged him around everywhere. One of the redeeming factors of my early years in smoky London was that I got to join the Scouts age 6, and I loved it. I remember my first day at the Scouts, walking in and seeing all these huge boys with nearly pressed shirts covered in awards and badges. I was a tiny skinny squirt in comparison, and I felt even smaller than I looked. But as soon as I heard the Scoutmaster challenge us to cook a sausage with just one match out on the pavement, I was hooked. One match, one sausage, but it will never burn long enough, I thought. Then I was shown how first to use the match to light a fire, then to cook the sausage. It was a eureka moment for me. Even if anyone present during those Scout evenings had been told that one day I would hold the post of Chief Scout and be the figurehead to 28 million Scouts worldwide, they would have probably died of laughter. But what I lacked in stature and confidence, I always made up for with guts and determination. And those qualities are what really matter in both the game of life in scouting and in scouting. So I found great release in scouting and great camaraderie as well. It was like a family, and it didn't matter what your background role was. If you were a scout, you were a scout, and that was what mattered. I liked it. See you next video. See you tomorrow.